Oh, I wish you all could have experienced that with me. Just letting Aerials by System of a Down play out, and well, I always must let that song play out. Now I can unmute the audio because there's no SOD there to cause any type of copyright. All right, how you all doing? Two things real quick. First of all, I think I wanna let's make this a little smaller. Yeah, like there. That seems pretty good, right? I still gotta find the font that I want. This is not the font that I want. Ultimately, what happened? What happened here? That was weird. Okay. All right, so hopefully the dimensions are good. This was me just kind of eyeballing it, so I'm not 100% sure, but it should look better. Yeah, first of all, Benjamin, sorry to hear about your mom. Hopefully she gets through with no adverse effects. Also, Xblod. I completely forgot who Gerald was, because I haven't seen Bob's Burgers in a while, but after refamiliarizing myself, you're not wrong. Alright, let's give it a try. I guess I won't know for sure until we see the sprites, but now it looks good. There we go. How's everybody else doing? Hope you're having an excellent day. Last time we left off, President didn't die, but the bodyguard did, and we ran into Shelly the Killer, who attempted the assassination. We think. Calling himself John Doe, which obviously not his name. A new development in this case has come to light. Under Knightley's direction, the door of the president's plane was opened. After the paramedics attending Mr. Rook left, we set foot inside the plane one by one. He still has Knightley by knife point? Oh my. Where would the president be? Who kn- fuck, what was his voice? Who knows? Seems he's just behind that door. Still a coward, I see. Think he'd just show himself in front of a hitman? Not a chance.
Didn't I tell you already? My purpose here is simply to investigate the case. Well then, Mr. Prosecutor, we await your examination of the body. Right. For now, I have no choice but to obey and continue the investigation. The rest is up to Detective Gumshoe. I'm counting on you. The attempted assassination of the president became the murder of a bodyguard.
Murder's funny. It looks like you could use some help, Mr. Edgeworth.
Well, I don't deny it, but...
See? Exactly. If that's the case, then it can't be helped. Just leave it to me, the great thief K. Faraday.
Right. So are you saying you can solve this case?
Acid reflux is this thing that happens where stuff comes up from your stomach, shoots up through your chest, and it makes you feel like you're having a heart attack. 0 of 10 would not recommend. It actually makes you feel like you're having a heart attack, and it's terrifying the first time you have it. Because your chest gets really tight, like pressure put on it, your left arm goes a little numb. That's generally what happens when you have a heart attack. Oh yeah, it is quite horrible. I didn't know it was acid reflux the first time, so I rushed myself to urgent care, and I was having chest pain. And when you say you have chest pain, those urgent care clinics get you in, you skip everybody in the line because you're seen as like top priority. And then I felt bad, really, like it's acid reflux. I'm like, oh, tell all those other people I'm sorry, because that was obviously not worth your time to skip past all those people. But I didn't know. Just knew my chest hurt. Yeah, very much like vomiting can, because it keeps like bad stuff that's coming up and hitting the teeth. Acid reflux heartburn. That's what it feels like. Feels like a heart attack. Well, yeah. I mean, that's why. It's because I could have had a heart attack, and thus I must be prioritized. No, that's... See, I had that when I was young. What you have, what I'm having now and what other people have experienced is a lot worse than that. Hey, Nick, what's up, dude? Any way to avoid it? So, generally speaking, for me, certain foods trigger it. So if you eat, like, the healthier you eat, the less likely you're going to run into it. But I'm not sure there's a way to avoid it entirely if you are prone to it beyond, like, taking preventative medication. There's preventative medication that will try to fight it before it becomes a problem. Don't eat grease. There you go. I've never tried the I've never tried the over-the-counter stuff, but I really should. Nope. Said with such certainty. Instead, I'll stick to being your support. I'm your white mage. Right, let's get straight to the investigation. We need to buy time for the police to prepare. I'll need to draw out this investigation for as long as I can. that Kay's nonplussed look? Aw, sad Sonic girl. It ain't me, I'm just a journalist. All I wanted was a scoop. I'd never kill nobody. Well, you still haven't told us why you concealed the parka from us. Well, that's because I thought y'all would get suspicious. Is that really the only reason? You gotta believe me, Mr. Prosecutor, I didn't do nothing. I won't tell you not to worry, but there's no need to be overly frightened. If you truly are innocent, I swear I will prove it. Yeah, my mentor does believe in me. For the last time, Miss Swift, I am not your mentor. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Mr. Prosecutor, you'll always be my second mentor. That's not quite what I meant. Oh, she's so sad. Yeah, it was sad music for real. Nah, that's the thing. She wants to be a thief, but she fails at it because she's a much better white mage than a thief. I know it's her profile image. It was a joke. Normally she's so like, yay! And in that profile picture, she's like, Two gas masks lay on the table, ready to protect against poison gas attacks. The president seems to be quite fearful of assassinations. So this is the rumored gas mask. It's my first time seeing the real thing. The rumored. Among the great themes? I mean, it's not even rumored, it's factual. They exist. No, the Jam and Ninja, the children's program. During Princess Viola's... It's Viola, not... Yeah. Viola's wedding ceremony, the poison-tongued ninja Simon Kowal. I should stop listening to her so seriously. It never seems to pay off. Besides, I only care about the Steel Samurai. Nook and Cranny! He was shot in the armpit. That's unfortunate. Yeah, but she's not... Is she taking a picture for the police, or is that just the game profile? Why else would she have taken a profile picture for the police? I guess as a witness? In case 5? Yeah, if I had nothing to hide, I'd smile. If you guys ever see a mugshot of me and I'm smiling, it's because I know I'm good. I'm all good. If you ever see a mugshot of me and I'm not smiling, you know it's because I done fucked up. The bullet went straight through the victim's body. Where'd it go? The bullet pierced his body just below his armpit. What, it went all the way through? Jesus! Unfortunately, he was hit in an area his bulletproof vest didn't cover. Yeah. Really seems like a well-aimed shot. The cause of death was most likely blood loss. The bleeding has stopped. The paramedics were called to treat Mr. Rook, right? I'm afraid they didn't make it in time. This is a bulletproof attaché case. It's a tool bodyguards use to protect themselves from bullets. It can be seen in Kane's photo. It seems Rook and Knightley both had one. Knightley 100% killed Rook, right? This wasn't the killer. This is 100% Knightley.
Or okay, not 100%, but like 99%. Because I mean, he has the perfect angle on dude's armpit. Ah, that's the scene I stole on film. You didn't do anything illegal in taking this. Anywhere, anytime, I'm always in the mood to steal. You just wanted to use the word steal, didn't you? Ha! Have I been caught? You didn't steal anything. They all carried revolvers. It seemed the victim also carried a gun. Did he try to shoot something? He may have drawn it out instinctively to return fire. We need to check to see if the gun has fired any bullets. Still fully loaded. There's no evidence of any shots being fired. This gun is also from Cheng Fa, right? Yeah. We were always issued the same model revolver. The victim is Ethan Rook. He was the president's bodyguard. After hearing the gunshots, he immediately evacuated the president into the plane. He gave up his life to fulfill his duties. Does this mean he'll receive a posthumous promotion? Okay, there's no need for forced comments. How'd you know? Bodyguards don't follow that promotion system. Okay, the case. What am I missing? The blood? There's a square outline cut into the floor. In the gaps, you can see some hinges. This is a secret entrance disguised as an escape hatch. Using a rope ladder, the president will make his great escape. So is he going in or is he coming out? Which one is it? I just told you. It's a secret entrance for escaping. It's just disguised as an escape hatch. Wait, what? Looks like she confused herself. I consider myself to be a very well-disciplined individual. Thank you. Bum, bum, bum. Welcome back, Idris. Oh, yes. Dog is correct. Consider anything I ask to be rhetorical unless I say I actually want the answer, because I will make it clear in that circumstance that it's not a rhetorical question, but otherwise assume that it is. Thank you. All right, what am I missing? The tie? Oh, the logic. Right. Both six-shot revolvers. These two guns, they're the exact same model. These guns came from Cheng Fa. Looks like all the bodyguards were provided with guns from Cheng Fa. Indeed. Are those guns rare? No, not particularly. They're not easy to obtain domestically, but it isn't impossible either. What? I thought they might be a treasure. Yes, it's unfortunate.
Mr. Edgeworth, are you talking about treasure?
Not quite. If it was a rare model, it would have been easy to identify. Even evidence can become treasure.
I see, even during your investigation, you searched for treasure.
Well, I didn't quite say that.
Okay, let's investigate. Where's the treasure?
And suddenly she's motivated.
They really should make an Ace Judge series. Like, it shows you the rise of the judge, and then the accident that obviously happened to him to make him a complete and utter dumbass. I'd play it. Hey, Norman. Yes, sir! Trying to distinguish myself from the other options you have available to you on YouTube by playing all of the games. And because they're a good time. Why not? Welcome, and glad you're enjoying yourself. Thank you for watching. Hope that's not your story either, Tom. Though, not, and this is not meant as as disrespect to any currently sitting Supreme Court justices, but for those that don't know, in the United States, the Supreme Court justice, federal Supreme Court justice, can stay as long as they want. And that can become a problem when they're in their late 80s and you're like, you're reading their opinions and you're like, maybe somebody else should have wrote this one. That happens every so often. Now, granted, these people are incredibly intelligent individuals. They're not your average judge. They're probably going to last mentally longer than any other judges on the planet, but still, like, probably should have a limit in which they're forced to retire. I mean, yeah, they don't write all the opinions. They write more opinions now than they used to. But, what was it? There was RBG penned one right before she died. Where it was like, yeah, she wrote that. And like, you could tell that she wrote that. This wasn't done by some amateur clerk. But then there was one written by a certain somebody that shall remain nameless, not a current judge, who also was rumored to have penned it himself shortly before the end of his tenure. That was some of the worst writing I have ever seen from a judge in my life. Oh, I'd love to try playing as the judge in the judge career. That'd be really interesting. If they made that game, I would windmill slam that on stream. Okay. I mean, it is the bullet that... Well, it might not have been the bullet. It might not have been a bullet. I guess that's the thing. It might not have been the same bullet that was aimed at the president. Okay. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to make sure we were done. Okay. Nope, fuck. Nothing. An assortment of protective gear, from bulletproof vests to hazmat suits. We're expecting to get some radiation? Wow, there's even a spacesuit! That's...
I guess in the event that the Earth loses all of its oxygen, because that plane is not getting into space without burning up. The president seems to be very protective of himself. Although, actually, I don't know what the plane's made of. Maybe. Actually, I don't think she does talk like Lada. I think she has a much more distinctively Southern twang to her. It's not that Lada doesn't sound Southern, because she does, but I feel like Swift is the next step of Lada. I don't know. Maybe it's just been a little while since I've seen Lada's dialogue, but I feel like Swift is another level of dialect. They are similar, yes. Yes. I'd agree, yes. I agree with you there. More like a wannabe Southerner. So that could just be that the writing got better in terms of, well, this isn't even the writing. They're translating. Maybe they just this team translated a Southerner better than the other team did. Translation so far seem very good. It's Jeff Bezos playing. They should get back to you, especially if you had a close relationship with them. I actually had an issue where I didn't really have a close relationship with my professors. So my recommendations came from other connections, other prominent individuals that I knew, but like it wasn't until law school that I developed relationships with my professors. That kind of sucked. Ugh. Oh yeah, I've never like read something from this game and felt like, oh, that seems really out of place for Phoenix Wright, you know? Okay, but I want to know the story of the judge. What happened to him? Why is he such a moron now? Besides, if I go play the judge in Ace Attorney Online, if in order to authentically be the judge, I have to be like, now, every one of your arguments are clearly excellent. The next person that opens their mouth is the person that's going to get the verdict in their favor. And that's no fun. That's the best. Getting opponents. There's no better recommendation than one from an opponent who has to admit to your skills. Oh, people would not enjoy me playing as Twain the Judge. Not because I intend on being an asshole if I ever become a judge, but based on honestly what I expect to deal with in the community. Because they're not attorneys, they're keyboard warriors, right? Ugh. How long have I been playing what today? 30 minutes? Well, we've been streaming for 30 minutes. The president seems to be very protective of himself. But what happens if he gets shot and then he gets exposed to poison gas? And then on top of all that, he gets ejected into space. He would probably wear everything that you see here. That would be a sight to see. Well, especially since that bullet would probably pierce the spacesuit, rendering it fucking worthless. President is just beyond the door. This door! I'm getting a sense that it's challenging me. Okay, there's no need to feel challenged by a door. You hear that, Lugia? They are super thick, but I honestly have no idea. Just because they're thick doesn't mean a bullet couldn't, depending on the gun. Maybe a revolver shot wouldn't pierce it. Yo, what's up, Mr. Migas? Damn it, Counselor, where's your tie? No, I think if anything, I'd be the exact opposite, which would also be a problem. I'd probably carry myself very similar to the judge that mentored me, just because I liked he was like chill but firm. And I think that's the best way to go about things. But look at how big it is. All those electronic locks, it's challenging me to unlock it. Ah, there you go, Chris. Chris with the logic. Is that why he was timed out? I didn't see what he said. Thank God. Like, seriously, I'm so happy now that I get to actually look at YouTube chat. And so if something gets deleted, I see that it gets deleted. As opposed to restream, it would still be there and I just have to hope to not see it. Calm down and think it over. What is the purpose of a key? What is the purpose? To unlock treasure? That's right, to unlock treasure. Was that the right answer? In this particular situation, the internal and external views of the plane are being monitored by these monitors. It won't rest. This monitor shows what's happening in this room. They got some pretty good tech. Is that so? I don't know much about these types of things. I don't even know what a PDF is. It even captures the fine lines around your eyes, Mr. Edgeworth. Oops, my bad. Those are the usual wrinkles on your forehead. Okay, is that all you wanted to say? That is pretty sad. He's only like, what, 27 at this point? What's this thing? Yeah, because like, I can actually pull YouTube's chat from my board, and it shows me the same thing same things you guys see, as opposed to having to use Restream's chat, which shows everything but deletes nothing, because apparently I guess that's like too much for it to have to deal with. I mean, you're streaming from several different services, so I get it. But that was very inconvenient in terms of modding. Now, I don't have to worry about simply ignoring chat because I'm worried about people spoiling. If the mods are on top of it, they're gonna delete it before I ever see it anyways. But that was like, my solution to it would be sometimes I just wouldn't look at chat in case that were to ever happen. Now I don't have to worry about that. Hey, hey, hey! I started getting gray hair at 30. I'm getting noticeable gray hair at 34. This is fucking profession. Oh, that's the president's precious stuffed animal. I don't really get it, but it's some sort of keepsake. Don't touch it. Actually, I want to give him the Lou voice. I like giving cops the Lou voice. Precious, that's unexpected. Hey, Kyle, looks like there's been a break-in. No, actually, I like the other voice. I like the voice again. Indeed, the area it stands on looks a bit unnatural. Are those glass shards underneath the stuffed animal? It's unnatural empty space. Perhaps. Was there another monitor here? This monitor shows an external view of the airplane. He must have wanted to know exactly when and where his enemies would attack.
He's so chill with that knife to his dude's throat.
He's just like, blah, 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 blah. Well, against an opponent such as myself, this is all meaningless.
You mean you can sneak onto a plane without being seen by the security cameras?
Yes, quite easily.
How do you do it? Please teach me, Master.
Kay, who are you calling Master? And what are you trying to get him to teach you?
I'm sorry. It's just, as a great thief, I felt like I couldn't let this chance slip away.
I'm terribly sorry, but it is against my policy to accept any students.
I see, that's too bad.
What do you mean that's too bad? These monitors show the cockpit and the aircraft's exterior. There doesn't seem to be anything out of place. Indeed, he was a prudent man and quite foolish as well. To think that he would use such toys to challenge the killer.
Master, please! Teach me your strategies for avoiding security cameras!
Okay, enough already!
I'm sorry. Not really. Maybe next time.
There won't be a next time.
There's some overlap there between assassination and stealing.
These monitors show the cameras.
What? What is this? This looks like static.
Okay, well.
Yes, it does. It hurts my time.
Nook and cranny.
There's a lever here.
Strange decorative base off some strange a strange decoration based off some strange animal staring at me with its strange eyes.
There's a lever on the statue. See right here on its butt.
That would be most unforgivable.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean anything by it.
That lever most likely operates the trapdoor underneath my feet. Then that hatch is actually a pitfall trap.
Dude has a Mr. Burns trap door in front of his fucking desk, except for that the lever is way too conspicuous. So if you know he's going for, you see his arm go like this, you jump out of the way. The estate of a dead person can own things. You could steal from the estate of that person. Chris wants to lose his mod ship for 5 minutes again. Time out for being a mod for awful jokes. He was expecting James Bond. Jesus.
I hope you understand it would be in your best interest not to pull that lever. When a killer talks about your best interests, it would be wise to do as he says.
I would agree. I hope if somebody ever does rob me, that's how I'm approached by it. Like, they just walk up to me with a gun like, it would be in your best interest to empty your pockets and give me all of your belongings that you currently have on you. Oh. I don't think I can disagree with that. Here you are, kind sir.
Are these some kind of official documents? I know it's a bit rude, but let's take a peek inside. This seems to be a security plan. Oh, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that, look at that. They switched the plan. They switched the plan. Oh, this looks like the one we found earlier in the trash can. Yes, it does, but what's this? Something seems out of place. It certainly is a very sketchy drawing. This seems to be a security plan document. If so, we obtained something like this earlier. Something's different about this one. Could it be? Perhaps I should try deducing. What's this? The details of the security plans were changed? Huh? Ah, you're right! Yeah, that's right. It was changed yesterday. President's orders. Why the sudden change? Because 2 days ago, the killer attacked the president. He disguised himself as bodyguard. Rook was the first to notice. He had already gotten close to the president. Rook managed to stop him just in the nick of time. Rook grabbed his left arm and twisted it. And then he fired one bullet square into his left arm. What were you doing at that time, Mr. Knightley? If I remember correctly, the first person I took out that day was you. Oops, was that a touchy subject? Touchy, because you got touched in a way you probably didn't want to. In that he fucked you up! I did not mean to suddenly give her a Chris Tucker voice. Shut up. So back then, he did Hitman it for real. He just changed the outfit and does nothing to his face. Who do you kill when you eat some so scratch? I don't want to kill creatures, but the cereal's so good. To be fair, I haven't had that soda in the cereal in like 20 years, but I still taste it on my tongue. That's how good that shit is. I only do not eat it because it's very unhealthy. And I try to eat heart-healthy cereals to lower my cholesterol, which I did. Those of you who are my age or a little older might remember an old Honey Nut Cheerios commercial where this dude, is probably like mid-40s or something like that, was eating Honey Nut Cheerios, and he was so ecstatic about the results that he went around town every time he's like faced somebody, or he would like pull random people aside, his boss, pedestrians. He'd say hello. Guess what? I lowered my cholesterol. And then he'd walk away. And he did that over and over and over and over again. People were like, I don't fucking care. But he was proud. And I understand that feeling because I felt like I could have done that for getting my most recent cholesterol test back. And having eaten many a Honey Nut Cheerio. Since that day, I haven't been able to turn my head right. It sucks. You mean since that day 2 days ago? Normally when you talk about that day, isn't it like the far past? Well, yeah, they're fucking douchebags trying to mug somebody. Like, it's not gonna be a good experience. You say very nice. You need to be on their next commercial. I save 50% on my car insurance by switching to Geico.
I don't see. I can't do Cheerios. It's like the most bland cereal to me. I just. Tone and KY love it. I'm just like, I don't get it. I could have Honey Nut Cheerios and have something that has a good taste to it. Cheerios is really good for like, if you're just a fan of, you want the substance of a crunchy cereal, but what you're really interested in are fruits and like other stuff that you're gonna put in there. So if you chop a bunch of strawberries or a banana in there, that is when Cheerios to me really shines, because it does give you that base without doing anything to overcome the flavor of the fruit. Perfect for that. I mean, on its own damn box, there are strawberries in it, isn't there? Like, the company itself can't even, like, seriously market it itself with just Cheerios by itself. Green onion? I can't say that I'm a fan of that. Blander than cornflakes. I think they're about the same amount of blandness. I haven't had honestly, I've only had cornflakes once, and I was like 6 years old. I've had Cheerios far more recently than cornflakes. So I guess I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, that would be a good way to not fucking sell car insurance, right? Have Monokuma be the spokesman. Corn Pops is good. Gotta have my Pops. They had funny commercials. I have not heard of Venezuelan pizza, but pizza with corn sounds very good. I like corn. Trep, I know you like blandness. Mayo is too spicy for you. I get it. I understand that some people really, really prefer it. Ren was telling me about his wife, they married last year, she was watching him make eggs for the first time, and he started putting pepper on, and she was like, that's way too much pepper. And he was like, oh. But little did you know, this is only part 1 of 3 applications of pepper that will be applied during this process. And then she's like, he's like, if I can't see the pepper on my scrambled eggs, there is not enough pepper. And I'm like, I agree. Eggs are the one thing that, like, I can deal with a lot of bland foods. Eggs are one thing that I cannot deal with bland because of the texture. It's just, they're kind of just nauseating if they don't have like salt and pepper or like meat or something mixed with them. Texture is a big deal when you're talking about blandness, since that's really all you have to go with. This isn't even my final pepper. There you go. I tend to think that, and I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but from experience, which is not how you're supposed to go about things, but just from experience, when I put pepper in something, what's like in the pan and cooking, versus when I apply the pepper after the fact, I usually taste that pepper after the fact a lot more. I'm assuming mostly because it's not getting mixed in with anything, and thus like fusing the flavor. It's just sitting on top of, whatever, right? But I don't know anything about like food chemistry like that, so I'm not sure. I just do what the instructions tell me to do. Spicy things are so good. But I get that not everybody likes spicy. But like when people are just like, I want a piece of white bread. Oh, do you want butter on that? No, that's too much flavor for me. Then I go, I just feel bad for you. Being allergic to eggs has to suck. Because like you can't even have like egg noodles. Anything with egg in it. Spicy rum is fantastic. That's because you're not supposed to eat bread on its own, unless it's like one of those fancy French loaves. Then I can do it. I don't like doing that, but I can do it. It at least has some taste to it. I want no part of that green onion cereal. That sounds awful. That sounds absolutely... I want my cereal to be sweet. If it's not sweet, be gone. Be gone, thought. To think I would suffer an injury. Ethan Rook. You could say he was a most capable individual. Unlike this man here. What's so different about me and Rook? I believe you're about as different as a pawn and a queen. Whew, get dunked. What? So you remember Rook's name because he was highly capable? Correct. While disguised as a bodyguard, I happened to hear his name. There was no way I could forget that name. Only a select few have ever been able to injure me. So this was the connection the killer was talking about. Security arrangements were changed so that the killer would not be able to sneak in as a bodyguard again. Bread with butter on it can be really good, especially, okay, so for those that don't know, I'm gonna give you a pro tip with butter. Do not refrigerate that shit. At least have one stick of butter unrefrigerated that's just like out at room temperature, because that is the fucking tits on toast or bread or whatever. That's what you want to be spreading, not cold ass, hard ass butter from the fridge. That's more for like, oh, I need 2 tablespoons of butter for this recipe. That's what you want that for. But if you just look to spread it, make that shit room temperature. That is deprivation. You basically... Oh my god, that sounds awful, Trep. They should ask. I was so mad when I was like 14 and I discovered you did not have to put butter in the fridge because my parents never put it out room temperature. I was furious. You know what one side effect of that is that's really unfortunate? When butter is hard, because it's much more difficult to spread, you have to put more butter on the bread in order to get it like get enough across the entirety of the bread, which means you're eating more butter, which means you're fattening yourself just because you didn't have room temperature butter. I have not had bagels with vegetable oils. You mean just like pouring oil on it? Tastes like butter, but with the sustenance of bread. It's not this some like amazing chemical reaction that creates something entirely new, but it does. Those two things together are good. Right, that's for 15, 20, and 25. Do you just like never have butter? We have buttered noodles quite frequently. You put a little Italian seasoning on it too, some Parmesan. All of a sudden I have Noodles and Company's buttered noodle recipe. Oh, dude. It's probably because you don't use enough butter, which is not a bad thing because, you know, you shouldn't have too much butter. But, like, we have buttered cookies that, like, you can taste it. You're like, there's so much butter in here that I can taste the difference between this and a normal cookie. And it's fucking delicious. Never tried garlic noodles. Or where that's, like, the prominent taste, I should say. Yeah, cold butter, yeah, it does tear up the bread. Melted butter on bread? Yeah, I mean, that sounds good, too. Melted butter's great. Like some of my recipes that we get have us melt butter in a bowl from like HelloFresh and EveryPlate and stuff. They have you melt butter in a bowl and then take the melted butter, and like spread it onto the like a bun or something like that, like a hamburger bun or garlic bread or something like that, and then toast the bread in the oven for a little bit. Oh, that shit's woo, 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 woo. I'm hungry. I am so hungry.
Only the president's two most trusted subordinates would accompany him on stage. In short, me and Rook. It appears your positions were also changed.
That's true. He's now on the right side.
Because I can't turn my head to the right. My position got changed to the president's left side. In other words, I was relocated to the right side of the stage.
I've never made pancakes myself, but my wife does. I'm not sure it's either one or the other. She might use both. The taste of misato and the butter put together. I can answer that for you right now. So we did that when I had home ec in like 3rd grade, or so. I was really young. We couldn't do much, right? Because we're super young. But one of the things they taught us to do was take butter, melt a little butter, and then sprinkle cinnamon and brown sugar on it. And that shit was delicious. All right, hold on. My food from Shake Shack was excellent. My delivery from Kevin was excellent. God, everything's taking so long. I kind of want Checkers, because talk about buttered bread and... But I never like ordering something that you can get from a drive-thru, because then I just feel like a lazy fucker. Right now I'm a busy fucker, but that's, you know. Sorry. I know, I'm just way too fucking hungry right now. And I believe I used the last of our soft butter, and we needed to wash the butter tray, so there is no room temperature butter out currently, which is my own fault. Should have just sucked it up. Okay, guys, this is what I'm doing. I'm picking this. And then what you guys are gonna do Okay. Oh. Sorry, you guys just came in on my my chat was talking about food and I got really fucking hungry. So I'm like ordering something. Everybody over from Cat's Cat, what the hell is your command? Oh, it's just Cat. I should really change it to SCK because that's what I always that's always what I think of. There we go. There we go. Make sure to check out Snap Click Cat's YouTube channel. She's a super, super fun and funny variety streamer. She's almost at 10K subs. Let's get her to that big old 5-digit number. Show her some love for throwing the raid our way. I greatly appreciate it. Everybody that came in on the raid. Smartman, Hiryu, Miguel, Donkey Kong, PDB, Nathan. Is that D Nazer? Cherish, Snap Click Cat herself, Caitlin, Sailor Akane. Is that Zyking or ZY King? Sailor Ranma. Oh, that's cute. I'm a Ranma fan. And Lightning. And Kink. How you all doing this fine evening? For those that don't know, my name's Twain. We are playing Ace Attorney Investigations Part 2, Prosecutor's Path. This is the game that was never localized in the United States. So this is a fan patch, a fan translation that took a while to put together. People tell me this is the best game of all the Ace Attorney games. So we're still only like 3/4 of the way through case 1 out of 5, so we got a lot of game to go. So far it's very good. I've played the first investigations. That one was kind of, it was good, but there's some problems with it. Apparently this game's a lot better. Oh, the Tundra DLC? How you liking that so far? All right, later, Hiryu. Thank you for joining in on the raid. Much appreciated. Also, Sean. Sorry, I missed you, Sean. Thank you for coming in on the raid. But I didn't miss anybody else. Oh, also, hello, Volpe. Also, I should turn on live chat, because top chat sucks. There we go. So my whole thing of interest, you could call it, is that I'm an attorney licensed in the state of Wisconsin, so I give people my legal opinion on the things that we counter here, which very frequently does not align with what we see in the game, for 2 reasons. One, because it's a work of fiction, and if it followed legal procedure exactly, the game would be incredibly boring and tedious. The other thing is that the Ace Attorney games are mostly based on the Japanese legal system, which varies in a few significant ways from the American legal system. Yeah, thank you everybody for coming on the raid, much appreciated. Again, everybody go check out Snap Click Cat's YouTube channel, greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Cat, for the raid. I wish it were accurate. You know how much more interesting my profession would be if it were? Wisconsin. Wisconsin. All right, later, Donkey Kong. Thank you for coming in on the raid. Much appreciated. As well as Caitlin. Yeah, so my chat was talking about, we were talking about butter and on bread. A super basic staple that's very good. And then we just talked about melted butter on bread, and then putting cinnamon on it, and then melted butter on a whole bunch of other shit. Garlic bread, oh my god. It's making me hungry all over again. I'm ordering DoorDash, and I want input on what my side should be. All right, you guys listening? These are the options. Help me pick.
I give this entirely to chat. All right, sides. I'm gonna skip the ones I really don't want. Cheese curds, fried pickles, onion rings, jalapeno poppers, mozzarella sticks, or do we go the dessert route and get fried Oreos? Once again, that is cheese curds, fried pickles, onion rings, jalapeno poppers, mozzarella sticks, fried Oreos. God, this is... I thought one would take... I thought one would run away with it, but yeah, these are very, y'all are very split. I am gonna add the ones that I saw the most reactions for. Poppers. There were 4 that I saw the most, but it was very split amongst that 4. All right, go. We have a minute. So while that's happening, I want to, for those that have played the Ace Attorney games but haven't played any of the investigation spin-offs, one of the big differences between the 2 series is that, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. There's no court here. Instead, you're just doing investigations, but you can also, like, move around and shit, which is really awesome. Because we know, like, the base Ace Attorney games are more strictly, you know, visual novel-esque, where there's movement, but only in that you say, all right, go to this place. Okay, go to this place. But here you can actually walk around and inspect items and stuff like that, which is really neat. This came out for the DS in 2011, I think. Are you kidding me? You... All right, well, we'll have to... Sailor Ranma had the tiebreaker. So we'll go with, oh, but that picked onion rings. Okay, so that wouldn't have actually helped the fucking god. Order both? How fat do I want to be tonight? All right, chat, you got me. Let's go. We're ordering both. God, this is gonna be like $35.
All right, it's done. It's done. Remember all that talk about how I lowered my cholesterol that we had earlier in the stream? There it goes. There it goes. Oh yeah, we did talk about acid reflux earlier too. Well, yep, here that comes. All right, thank you everybody for joining on the poll. Let's return to the game. Yes, nook and cranny. The telephone, I think. Oh, it's I'm in. I am fucking blind. Hey, to be fair, I'm not sure I remember what a landline phone looks like anymore. Oh, the ZBI, huh? The Chengfa Bureau of Investigation. Whew, that's a heavy looking vest. The president's clothes must be made from some special fabric. Indeed, it's to protect against bullets. Wow, even does that? Naturally, this is a bulletproof vest after all. But there's a hole in it. Ah, so that's what it is. This is the first time I've seen one. You could have said something earlier. That really surprised me. Yeah, you're telling me, Kay. I agree. It's a collection of colorful personal security alarms. They all seem to have been used before. President, he sure is a nice guy. He bought these security alarms to protect his wife and kids. Then why would he leave them all here? It's obvious that they're for his own personal use. Objection! A single person can't carry that many security alarms. Because a person only has 2 hands. That objection is worth 0 points. Two bullets were fired. We know that from the number of gunshots. One hit the steel samurai balloon, and the other took Rook's life. Oh God, Tom. It is because I don't know how to do it correctly. You should be able to get a 0. Many of the objections are worth 0 points because they're not done, they're not executed like they should be. I know I've harped on this before, but I would be less annoyed by how they execute the objections if they didn't say objection over each other during just a back and forth conversation when they would not have to say objection at all, but it's for dramatic effect, right? Objection, blah, 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 blah. Objection, blah, 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 blah. Like, you could just talk. You don't have to say objection there. If I were a judge, that's what I'd say. Like, you don't have to say, we're still on an objection. Let's figure it out. But didn't a bullet also hit the But didn't a bullet also hit the president's bulletproof vest? Right, it doesn't match up with the number of shots. However, there is one way to solve this. One way? The bullet that stole Rook's life pierced through his body, and then hit the vest. In other words, Rook and the president were hit by the same bullet. I see! That's right. It'd be dangerous if he hadn't worn that bulletproof vest. Is the president alright? Even while wearing a bulletproof vest, you can still get injured. Yeah, the bullet's impact can fracture your bones. But don't worry, he's fine. The president's trained himself like no other. Well, yeah, you guys remember that dude's ripped body? I'm surprised it can be pierced. He can be pierced by a bullet. I do like Ranma 1/2. Specifically, I was saying it was cute that there was both a Sailor Ranma and a Sailor Akane. Best ship. Best ship, fight me. Gotta justify the voice actor's payment. Maybe the president didn't even need a bulletproof vest. I think that might be pushing it. I disagree. Have you seen that dude? He can't be real. He has like a -% body fat, which also is impossible. Man, is he ripped. I like to examine the bullet. There's a chance there may be ballistic markings. Ballistic markings? What's that? Oh god, here we go. Talking about ballistic markings for the every time we've played a Phoenix Wright game. Ace Attorney game. Ballistic markings are always left on a bullet. Each gun leaves a different marking. So if we examine the ballistic markings, we'll know which gun the bullet was fired from. You could say they're like a gun's fingerprints. I get it now. Let's investigate right away. I think that'd be difficult. The bullet was completely flattened when it hit the bulletproof vest. There's no way you could investigate the ballistic markings. What? I wanted to investigate them. I think he makes Goku blush. Ranchan the best? Whoa, okay, but what's the ship there? Ranma herself then? I guess. Oh, it's your sister? That's awesome. I wish my sister liked anime. She does not. It would never happen in a million years. Oh, I agree. I tend to think he purposefully did it that way so that if he ever needed to show strength, he knows the exact movement to make to rip it.
Now then, I've grown weary of this investigation.
Still no sign of Detective Gumshoe.
Mr. Prosecutor, have you uncovered the truth yet?
No, not yet.
I see. In that case, would you like to speak with someone who is involved in the incident?
Someone involved in the incident? You mean...
Is there not one more witness just behind those doors?
Of course, the president himself.
Well, Mr. Prosecutor, please do the honors and summon the witness here.
There's no chance in hell I'm letting that happen. You just summon the president like a witness in court, huh?
Mr. President, I'm sure you are watching all this through your security cameras. If you would kindly grace us with your presence, that is, if you value your bodyguard's life.
It's like, I don't!
Fuck. Well, that was my only plan. Mr. Prosecutor, how about you? I see. Mr. President, what sort of a man leaves another to die on his behalf?
Mr. President! Stop it! Take it easy, hey! Still nothing. Come on, Detective Gumshoe. Ah! What? The lights.
My apologies, Mr. Prosecutor, but I wouldn't try anything if I were you. Seems I'm unable to reach the president, even with Mr. Knightley's life.
Stop! Ugh! Ah! Hey, the killer, you!
However, I have already seen the truth.
Where is he?
Ooh!
I leave the rest in your hands.
I leave the rest in your hands, Mr. Prosecutor.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth! I thought that was K.
Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth, sir!
Just Ranma-chan? Well, okay. I'll give it to Shampoo. I guess they're all kind of like that. But wasn't Shampoo like the first to like really embrace like, well, besides Akane, like, hey, girl boy, I don't fucking care. I love you either way. That was always Akane's thing. I'm pretty sure this guy can break through time and space like it's just paper. You just have to show him. Oh, is this on your birthday? Hopefully your day was better than the president of Chung Fa's. What, Ranma? I've rewatched Ranma recently. I have not rewatched Slayers recently, so we should do the inverse. Did I pass out? Miss Edgeworth, thank goodness you're safe. Mr. Edgeworth, are you okay? Okay, what about you? Man, get that double entendre. I just woke up myself. My head's throbbing a bit, but it's no big deal. Yeah, Knightley is very tall. Detective Gumshoe, what happened to the killer? Miss Swift came running out of the plane. She told us the killer made a run for it, but we were too late, sir. We heard from that bodyguard that the emergency lifeboat over there had been stolen. It's probably at the other side of the lake by now, sir. Didn't you seal off the park? The police were all called back to surround the plane. Right now, there's no one guarding the opposite side, sure. Tell me there's no police officers anywhere along the rest of the city? That seems grossly incompetent. Alright, later, Tom. Take it easy, dude. He really does, Mr. Dominguez. That means he succeeded in giving us the slip. Sure seems that way, sir. Mr. Prosecutor? Morris Knightley. Seems you also had a narrow escape. Yeah, that sucked. That punk. Was he moving a knight in the, like, air moving a knight? Come to think of it, you found this near where you fell, sir. This is the killer's calling card. Looks like a message from him. He always leaves this card next to his victim's body. But you're not dead, sir! Perhaps this signifies something similar to a killing. Which reminds me, the last thing he said still bothers me. Seen the truth? What did he mean? Yeah, it's safe now. What was that? The president will be making his entrance now. The president? Here we go. I once again question whether or not a bullet could actually pierce that guy's body. This man is the president of Changfa, Dijun Huang. You are? It is an honor to meet you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a prosecutor. I am Dijun Huang. I have heard of your deeds. You saved my country from a great crisis. Is he referring to the Yatagarasu case? I was simply solving a murder, nothing more. Such modesty! I have been observing your investigation. An astounding performance, despite allowing the killer to get away. Thank you very much. So he was watching through the security cameras. However, I regret that it ends here. What do you mean? Heed my words, foolish prosecutor. You should have already been informed. By nightly, this investigation will be handed over to the esteemed police force of Changfa. Now that the killer is gone, they intend to take over the investigation. There, Inquisitor, take it easy. The Hulk for dessert. I can't do James Earl Jones. Otherwise, I would. That's a voice I will never be able to do in my wildest dreams. I'm surprised Gumshoe's actually head-to-head with him like that. If that dude put his finger up like that at me, I'd be like, I'm sure he could kill me. And I'd never even know that it was happening. Hey, Mandarin, sorry if I missed you earlier. Human Bender, yeah, right? Hey, pal, what are you doing? What's with that attitude? It's because of the killer, Mr. Edgeworth, that... Enough, detective. Mr. President, I cannot agree to this. Why must this investigation be handed over to your country's police? Why, you say? Know your place, puny prosecutor! Must I explain my actions? Nay, I think not. You shall hand over all the evidence you found so far and leave this plane at once. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, be a good boy and do as you're told. I cannot resist any longer. All the evidence handed over to Knightley. Why? Why won't he allow me to investigate this case any further? Now then, would you kindly take your leave? Knightley, place the suspect under firm restraint. I'm on it, Mr. President. An attempt on my life, the murder of my subordinate, such evil, such sin. I didn't kill nobody. I swear. Such a trap, lady. You dare question me? You dare stain this world with deceit? Should we pardon this sin? Nay, absolutely not. It is most unforgivable. My reasons being... Blah, 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 blah. There's no mistake, the president's hiding something. I turn back now, the truth will be lost forever, forever. Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing you can do? I remember the countless times I faced this dilemma in the courtroom. The lies of the witness, the rebuttals of the defense. I did not always have evidence to counter them. Nonetheless, I was still able to draw out the truth from them. That's right. My words alone are my weapons. Now then, let's analyze the situation. Oh my god. His breathing. Leave this place at once! This is a direct order from the president himself. He's not even listening. Any rebuttal I give, he cuts off. When he has that forceful attitude, I'll need to watch the situation carefully. My opponent is the president of Changfa. I don't think he'll show any weakness easily. Apparently, I'm speaking this out loud for some reason instead of thinking it in my head with the blue text. His words may be overbearing, but I need not be intimidated. If I observe his behavior closely, I should be able to read his emotions. First, I'll start by asking about his reasons for taking over the investigation. Now, let's begin. A good opening line will put me in an advantage. Used Swift. Just have him talk in blue text. He doesn't have to talk to us and break the fourth wall. Like, just have the text be blue. He's not saying it out loud. That would be stupid. Oh, yeah. I'd like you to explain your reasons for depriving us of our right to investigate. Impudent fool, hold your tongue! There is no reason. That should be enough of an explanation for you. Enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Please allow me to confirm something about the investigation. Nay, I don't recall granting you permission to speak. I am the president of Changfa. You shall not talk back to me. I'm not talking back, I'm simply asking for confirmation. This investigation will be taken over by the police of your country, is that correct? Exactly, that is all I will say. Restrain yourself from making any more unnecessary comments. That's enough. Being on this plane is tantamount to being on my country's soil. You cannot do as you please. This plane? Is there something significant about this place? I should remember this clue. I'd like you to explain your reasons for depriving us of our right to investigate. Impudent fool, hold your tongue, there is no reason. Perhaps that clue might be useful here. Gathering from what you've said so far, does that forceful attitude of yours have some connection to this place? You insolent! Earlier, you said that being on this plane is like being on your country's soil. From those words, I was able to deduce the answer. Namely that you wish to claim extraterritorial rights inside this plane! Am I correct? That's enough! I shall brook no insolence! If you have nothing to say, be gone! You're wasting my time! Seems I should have been a bit more decisive there. Oh, I thought he was being... whatever. I guess he wasn't being super forceful. Your words are forceful, but I cannot overlook them. Oh, wait! So now you're not supposed to be forceful! Why? Whatever. But I cannot overlook them. The moment I mentioned extraterritorial rights, your face grew pale. In light of your brazen courage, I shall grant you an answer. That's right, I am claiming extraterritorial rights inside this plane. However, what does that change? You are still powerless. There's nothing you can do about it. I see. Under international law, the plane would be considered part of Changfa. How convenient. He wishes to stake this claim, then I shall question its validity. The next move will decide the outcome. He may be the president, but there is a hole in his logic. Let me break it wide open. I challenge the validity of your claim to extraterritorial rights. You truly understand what it is you're saying? Of course, and I stand by it. You dare doubt my words? You have no shame! Such irredeemable ignorance troubles me greatly. There is no need to worry. I do not need to be saved. It is Miss Swift whom I wish to save from these false charges that you have laid against her. I admire your tenacity. However, your wish is unattainable. The extraterritorial laws are unshakable. This plane is Chungfa territory. I don't have enough clues. Permit me to say this. Don't you feel that your actions are too forceful? Who asked for your opinion? All you need to do is obey. Forceful is the wrong word. It is authority, leadership. So you arrested Miss Swift because you felt you had the authority to do so? Yes, that girl's a criminal. There's no room for dispute. The shooting took place outside the plane. Only she could have done it. That's it. The shooting occurred outside the plane. This could be a very important clue. It's time to use that clue. Indeed, I do not question your extraterritorial rights inside the plane. However, you just claimed that the shooting took place outside the plane. Yes, if it didn't happen inside the plane, extraterritorial laws do not apply. Your claim has fallen apart. Miss Swift's arrest is invalid. Impossible! To be bested by a mere prosecutor. I am the president! Checkmate, Mr. President. Hey, how many people get to say that in their life? Checkmate, Mr. President. Mr. President, will you allow us to continue with our investigation? I yield. I will allow it. My heart is generous, my heart is tolerant and merciful. Therefore, as such, certainly, thus we shall. It is our duty for a most noble cause. Gentlemen, now is the time. I, the president of Chungfa, for the sake of the investigation. This guy sure likes beating around the bush. Knightley, we have received the president's permission. Could you return our evidence? Here. You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Well, and the other difference is that once you initiate the chess game, you know you have everything you need, right? For the Cyclox, you're not necessarily sure yet. You might get into it and find out you don't have all the evidence that you need. Indeed, now we can resume the investigation. It's funny how happy you are just because I gave you your precious pieces back. Let's see how well you use them. Pay attention then. Here is my next move. Mr. President, may I make one more request of you? Would you please testify about the moment of the incident? Testify? Hey, hold on a sec. That's your next move? Isn't that the sort of thing you'd leave to the courts? Naturally, it's a courtroom procedure. However, I'd still like to hear what he has to say. If he refuses to cooperate with the investigation, then we'll have to give a clear reason. Is there something wrong? Knightley, stand down. I shall grant the honorable prosecutor's request. I thank you for your cooperation. Now, heed my words. Where was I when the incident occurred? Yes, the stage. Then, Rook and Knightley suddenly appeared and stood in front of me. I don't want to do that. That's too much like Von Karma then. After that, I heard a gunshot and a red balloon bursting. And so those two attempted to escort me into the plane. But then, the second gunshot. The bullet pierced through Rook's body and struck my bulletproof vest.
If that's the case, then the president's a victim too, right?
It was an assassination attempt. Mr. Rook just happened to get caught up in it, unfortunately.
But isn't it strange? Why would the victim want to interrupt the investigation?
Of course, if this becomes public, it would cause problems.
I see. There's still some deep, dark secret behind this case, right?
Certainly the president, and perhaps Knightley too, know of this secret. Without fail, I shall reveal it for all to see. Did you realize there was a shooter when they appeared in front of you?
What was I doing at that time? Ah, yes, the speech. During my speech, I was in a euphoric state, a state of nothingness and enlightenment. So, you got nervous and you blanked out? Nay, I have not forgotten a single occurrence that transpired during my speech. When Rook and Knightley appeared in front of me, I was surprised. I'll be honest, that might have been... that might have been my best critique of a character I've ever done. I don't think I've done anything that's matched the Von Karma critique yet.
A red balloon?
You try my patience, Prosecutor.
That was not my intention. I just want to make sure your recollections are reliable.
There were balloons on both sides of the stage, swelling red in the cloudy sky as laid out in the security plan.
The security plans? Ah, the one from the bag.
They stepped in front of me just before the balloon burst.
Attempted to escort you? What actually happened?
That's right, attempted. Rook and Knightley raised their attaché cases.
That's the moment shown in Kay's photo.
They led me towards the plane.
What happened after the second gunshot?
Pitiful, Prosecutor, if you don't know that much, you're not fit for duty. What's that supposed to mean? I grow weary of needless repetition. It should be quite obvious. Even you should know the path of the second bullets.
Point like finger guns. I wish. When the bullet hit, what condition was the victim in?
Oh, he was truly a man among men. Still groaning from the bullet's impact, he grabbed hold of me and dashed into the plane.
So you entered the plane along with the victim?
I am to be protected. Rook was to protect me. That was his role.
He speaks firmly, but it feels like he's just dodging the question, sir. He's the president. That's to be expected.
There doesn't seem to be anything out of place.
Since he's also a victim, he shouldn't have a reason. He wouldn't have a reason to lie, sir. So what he said should be nothing but the truth. On the contrary, there is one point that stands out to me as odd. Try to recall the state of the crime scene.
Really? Show me the evidence.
Perhaps I should review it one more time.
Oh, fuck. Say anything about the balloons here. Or are those circles supposed to be balloons?
A red balloon burst? I'm afraid that's not the case. What? Please have a look at this piece of evidence. Can you see what has burst? No! This is... What exactly? It's the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo. You do well to remember it. If you wish to win the support of this nation's people... And don't forget the rival show, the Jammin' Ninja. Shut up, Kay. That show sucks. The balloon that was ruptured by the bullet was no ordinary red balloon. It was a Steel Samurai balloon. But according to the plans, there should have been 2 red balloons. It says so right here in the security plan. It certainly looks like there are only 2 round balloons drawn here. Knightley, what is the meaning of this? Explain it once! Yes, sir. That Steel Samurai balloon was a last-minute replacement. Replacement? That's what we were told. Seems that information didn't make it to the president. We ran into a little trouble during setup last night. One of the balloons that we had prepared burst. So you scrambled to find a replacement? Exactly. We just happened to run into a guy manning a stand in the park. He said he'd lend us the Steel Samurai balloon. He was kind of a poser. A stand, a Steel Samurai balloon, and a poser. We pumped air into its red samurai pants to create a makeshift red balloon. So the Steel Samurai balloon looked just like an ordinary red balloon. Is that what you mean? Knightley, why was I not informed of this? Sir, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't think it was important enough to report. It's gotta be Larry, right? Couldn't you tell by just looking at it? Yeah, it's gotta be Larry, right? I did not notice it. So he mistook the Steel Samurai's pants for an ordinary balloon? Was there a reason why you made that mistake? Oof! What now? A moment, please! I just remembered now. I could not see the balloon very well. You couldn't see it? Exactly. At the time, the wind was strong. The flags on the stage were fluttering wildly and they obstructed my view. The flags? Did you not see the flags that were set up on both sides of the stage? Due to the strong wind, they were waving about just like this. So a strong wind was blowing at the time of the incident. The flags were fluttering wildly. Is there a problem with that? President Huang, you have my gratitude. Your testimony has helped me uncover a new contradiction. A contradiction, you say? Yes, one that turns the very foundation of this case on its head. During my investigation, there was no wind at the crime scene. The flags remained still. However, the flags were actually fluttering in the strong wind. This completely changes the meaning of that piece of evidence. Which evidence contradicts the state of the crime scene? We don't have the actual flag, right? We just have the... yeah, this.
Take that!
The gunshot rang out during the president's speech. The bullet struck the balloon and also pierced through the national flag. In the shadows of the government? Oh, Lord. I'd previously deduced the bullet's trajectory using these facts. The assassin fired the bullet from the left side of the audience area. However, if the flags were fluttering about like so, my reasoning changes. Ah, since the flag's position has changed! Correct, the bullet's trajectory must also change. And if we trace the trajectory of the bullet, we can tell who fired the shot. Ah, but Mr. Edgeworth, that person is... Indeed, I still don't understand why, however, it can be none other than him.
Take that!
person who shot the balloon was none other than you, Horace Knightley. What? Connect the bullet holes in the balloon and the flag, and the line points to you. That guy is one of the president's bodyguards. Why do you have shot the Steel Samurai balloon, sir? Preposterous. I agree with the detective. There's no reason. Are you saying Knightley, who has saved my life on numerous occasions, is an assassin? Prosecutor Edgeworth, I've had it up to here with you. My job is to protect the president. Knightley, control yourself. Sorry, sir. Prosecutor, indeed the wind was strong during the speech. However, the wind's strength can change very quickly. Evidence! Show us the evidence that the flag was flying at the moment of the gunshot. The gunshot occurred the moment the president raised his fist to the sky. The evidence that shows this moment is... I have something that shows the state of the flag? Let's see. Oop. We have the recording.
Take that!
They want me to show the state of the flag. Okay. Yeah, do you want to hold it? That's funny. That lets you listen to the moment of the incident, but not show the moment of the incident. Okay, let's see this again. I mean, does this show the flag, though? I mean, it shows him raising his hand.
Take that!
The evidence is in this photo. Interesting, and where in this photo exactly? Oh, that's right! Fucking duh, there's more than one photo.
Take that!
Dog. Don't you see? The fluttering flag can be seen in this photo. No! There is no mistaking that the flags were flying at the moment of the incident. So then, it really was that guy who shot the balloon. That would be Mr. Knightley as the assassin. Horace Knightley is... not the assassin. Horace Knightley is not the assassin. The only thing he shot was the balloon. A balloon on the opposite side of the president. He wasn't aiming at the president. Why then? Why was it necessary for me to do a thing like that? Depending on your answer, I might take aim at your pretty little head. Why was it necessary? I presume the reason is connected to the one thing that's felt out of place. The one who shot the balloon was the president's bodyguard, Knightley. That fact will change the entire viewpoint of this case. Hey, Minoba, how's it going? Le Rookman. Le Rookman. Connect my thoughts. Why was Knightley's position changed? plans had not changed, and Knightley remained on the left side of the stage. Knightley can't turn his head to the right. He would have been able to aim at the balloon on the left side of the stage? Would he have been able to aim at the left side of the stage? Perhaps the security plans were altered so that Knightley could shoot the balloon? If that's the case... What's this? The details of the... Oh. Hi. Bye. In other words, the president knew about the balloon being shot. He knew about the attempt on his own life. You think about it that way, everything that's been out of place is beginning to add up. Why was the assassin able to get a gun past such touch sight security? Such tight security. Why was the assassin wearing a conspicuous red hood? Why did they use a laser sight that would so easily reveal their location? Why was the president so calm after being shot? This was the truth the president and his subordinates tried to conceal. There can only be one reason why Knightley fired the gun. The entire assassination was a setup. Ah? Huh? How dare you? Do you seriously understand what you're implying with this? Of course I understand. In fact, now I understand everything. Mr. President, you wish to take the investigation rights from me. That was all so you could conceal the real truth. How dare you mock me with these spurious allegations! Mock you? That was not my intention. I simply used logic to uncover the truth, that is all. Knightley fired the first shot in order to rupture the balloon. Hearing the gunshot and the sound of the balloon bursting, the audience began to panic. This was followed by one more shot. Wait, one more shot? Yes, Knightley turned towards the balloon and pulled the trigger a second time. The second gunshot was also fired by Knightley to create the illusion of the second shot hitting the president. So what about the bullet that hit the president's bulletproof vest? What if that bulletproof vest had been prepared in advance? Ugh! What's the matter, Mr. President? Afraid of facing a little bullet? That's not true! I was definitely shot! If we examine the bullet in your vest, it would answer the question for us. If we find Rook's blood on that bullet... Ugh! But the person in the red hood who shot me is in that photo! Weren't you listening, Mr. President? From the bullet's trajectory, the one who fired the shot must have been Knightley. Then Nicole... She was too part of the president's plan. She was to bear the blame and become the false assassin. The red-hooded figure! Exactly. I don't know how much of the plan Miss Swift knew beforehand. However, she didn't fire the gun. All she did was aim the laser pointer at the president's head. That's right, Once the crowd began to panic, you would turn your parka inside out, and thus the red-hooded figure vanished. After that, you discarded the gun and security plan in the trash. And the illusion of the assassin vanishing like a ghost was complete. And with the assassin gone, the case would go unsolved, pal. Yes, that was what he hoped for. That's why he wouldn't let Mr. Edgeworth investigate the case. Exactly. All of this was an asinine publicity stunt from a lying president. But you You can't do that.
You can't do that. That is impossible. That is impossible. Impossible. You are wrong. You are wrong. He revealed his true form. The assassination is a lie, isn't it? Chief, why do you have to pick you? This should not have happened.
Objection!
Objection. Well played, Mr. Prosecutor. Nightly. I'm speaking with the president now. Thank you very much. You're a chess player. You know knights are always try. You know knights always strive to protect the king. So shut up now. Are you threatening me, Mr. Knightley? What's with this guy? Oops, sorry. I went over the top there. But on to business. As my first move, I want to ask you a question. Say I fired a gun on the stage, right? I should have been caught. The entire audience was watching me. I see. No, it's my move. Used a certain object to prevent the spectators from seeing you. Certain object. Yeah, fucking case.
Take that!
I mentioned that like last stream. His voice was smooth as fuck. Objection. The attaché case. Jesus Christ. Oh. Exactly. I'd like you to have a look at this photo Kay took. Your right hand is completely hidden by the case. This photo captures the exact moment you secretly fired the gun. Use the attaché case as a screen. Objection. How dare you? How dare you, sir? You seem to enjoy making up convenient stories, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back. I believe my delivery driver might be having issues finding the house. He's like 3 houses down. They shall not take my food. Oh god. So looking forward to this. Whew. Edgeworth does have some balls. Probably should have checked for that. She got something after all. Sauce fell on the floor because I was being negligent. Oh god, those smell good. Wow. I suddenly feel like I got too much food. Oh, by the way, Trep, my mouse is working again. I'm wondering if, like, I wonder if it got wet. And then when it dried, it finally started working again. Because it's weird that it's working all of a sudden. It's not gonna feel saucy for long. She is going to town. I wiped most of it up just in case it was like something that's bad for dogs. I don't think so. You got more than you normally get. I don't like feeding her food from the table because then fucking bags. That and I never know what you should and should not feed a dog. Some people just feed them fucking whatever and we'll see what happens. We give her carrots, I know, are good for them. Give her a lot. She loves popcorn. But you missed something. What have I missed? Everything you said is just a hypothesis, a theory. Flags flapping in the wind, using the case as a screen. Security plans are modified because I can't move my neck. Got no decisive evidence. Yeah, it'd be great if you had the bullet that hit that balloon. Then you could examine it, see if the ballistic markings match my gun. That bullet's probably at the bottom of the lake. Finding it would be real tough, right? Right to it in a minute, it says he says, there's no decisive evidence. There's no proof, if there's no proof, the only thing you can do is shut up, so do so. Miss Swift. That's it. If she speaks, we could hear new testimony. Hey lady, you got something to say? Never mind. There we go, I thought so. Nicole! Don't be afraid, the truth will escape if you let that man intimidate you. You're a reporter, a journalist, are you not? I will not I will not remain silent.
You better consider your position. Use your head before saying something you regret.
I forgot the #1 rule of journalism. Journalists must not tell lies. You can't call it a scoop if it ain't the truth. Tell that to your mentor. Mr. Edgeworth, I'm sorry. I've been hiding this the whole time.
This is?
I used this laser pointer to aim at the president. That's all I did. I never fired the gun.
You stupid woman! If you testify, you'll be admitting you're an accomplice.
I don't care. I'm gonna tell him everything. 3 days ago, I was covering an event at the Chungfa embassy, and some of the president's men called me over. They said if I cooperated, I'd get an exclusive interview with the president.
And the gun in the trash?
I really don't know. All I was told was to come wearing a red hood and to aim the laser pointer. I never thought it would snowball into all of this. I'm really, truly sorry.
Nicole, thank you. That was a testimony worthy of the courtroom. This is sufficient testimony to verify the fake assassination plot. Damn you, the lot of you. You're all a bunch of mindless morons.
It's a shame. If only you had been able to usurp the investigation as planned, you would have been able to silence this young lady.
Dude almost shot himself. Why is he allowed to have a gun?
Call a vet is the correct answer.
From what I've been told, like what can actually be poisonous to dog is related to how big they are. The bigger the dog is, the more chocolate they'd have to eat for it to actually be deadly, but you should still be safe and sorry. Take it to the vet. Also, the darker the chocolate is, the more poison it is to dogs. Yeah, that's just what I was told, though. Oh, I'm not a vet. That is why we do not twirl our guns. Last.
So tomorrow's headline now read, fake assassination plan exposed. Becomes a murderer. Right?
Can't believe that you do something this horrible, pal. I admit nothing. The president? Rightly, that's enough. We have no choice but to admit it.
So, Mr. President, you admit that you planned a fake assassination?
Yes, I admit it. I'm sorry.
But why? Why did you have to do this?
My approval ratings are flooded. I wanted to appeal to them as a strong president who survived an assassination. But yet it was just a lie, a stupid lie.
And the bullet in the bulletproof vest?
Prepared earlier. It was not fired today.
What about the killer?
It seems our plan was leaked. Someone wanted to make this fake assassination real.
That's why the killer wore the red raincoat. He would impersonate the culprit from the plan in order to approach the president.
But there's still one thing I don't understand.
What's that?
Why did Brooke die? His death was not part of this charade. And yet it really happened.
Yes, why was his life taken?
Ethan was an outstanding bodyguard. Even though he wasn't from my country, he had my utmost trust.
I will repeat this. I cannot do James Earl Jones, ever in my life. Only James Earl Jones can do James Earl Jones. And so we will never do James Earl Jones. I wouldn't think that having the trust of a cowardly president meant that much, honestly. Hey, that's the same sort of bond between me and Mr. Edgeworth, pal. I wouldn't put it that way. Did Rook know of your plan?
Not the exact details. I asked him to cooperate, and he refused.
You should have listened to his advice.
Yes, indeed. I wouldn't have done all this if I had known.
You're being too dramatic. What? Rook was just one piece of the president's defense.
Might be.
Yes. And it's not as if he cooperated with your plan. I did. He ran away, taking whatever dignity he had left with him. Good riddance.
I'm not a valuable bodyguard, but still.
I don't have time for this, sir. I'm the team leader now. There's going to be a lot of changes now that the chicken's gone. After all, adaptation is the most important principle in chess.
I knew you always wanted to be the team leader.
But
isn't this a bit of impudence?
I will orchestrate even more perfect plans just like this one. You definitely have ambition, but wasn't your perfect plan today a failure? If it weren't for you and that idiot Rook, it would have been perfect. What did Rook do? If he had died, the killer wouldn't have threatened me. And you would have never set foot in this plane.
Nightly, how can you say such a thing?
Yeah, he died trying to save you, Mr. President. Maybe fulfill his lifelong ambition. He died protecting the president? Huh? But the assassination was fake, right? Of course it was, but you need to listen closer, little girl. Remember the guy that wanted to make the fake assassination real? There were 2 gunshots at the time of the incident. The first was, as you said, I shot the balloon. But the second one wasn't me. So who fired the second shot? The real assassin. But it wasn't a killer. He intended to attack the president with a knife, not a gun. The lucky winner was the hidden queen. Or should I say the lady in the coat over there? Ah! You're accusing Nicole, pal? I ain't no assassin. Really? I don't believe you. The gun that was left in the trash. That was yours, right? I mean, there haven't even been as many deaths as Danganronpa so far. Well, maybe if you compare the first 3 to the first 3. I really don't want you guys to hear it. I shot the balloon and entered the plane with Rook and the president. Rook waited in the cabin while I led the president into the security room. When I came out, Rook was already on the ground. The bullet that lady fired must have hit him while we escorted the president to the plane. Shot was fired from the gun you found in the trash. So you're saying you don't know exactly when the victim was shot? A knight's job isn't to protect the Rook, it's to protect the king. Huh? What he's trying to say is his job was to protect the president only. It's over if you lose the king. Checkmate. That's the first rule of chess. If you let pieces get taken right in front of you, you're not likely to win. But I did win. Look, the president's safe. Don't claim victory when the game has only just begun. Hey, bullpen. So the victim had no part in your plan? Yeah, that's right. He didn't even know it was all fake. You're saying he thought it was a real assassination attempt? Ah, but you fired the gun right next to him. Wouldn't you have noticed?
Maybe he did, not that it matters now. Besides, even if he thought the assassination attempt was a fake, his duty was to protect the king. He made a split-second decision to sacrifice himself. The victim was truly a man of honor. You're wrong. It was all part of my plan. He simply assisted in our little performance on stage.
Hold it!
Why'd you do that? The assassination was supposed to be fake. There's a lot of guests milling around outside. Wouldn't it be bad if the president, who just escaped an assassination, was seen lounging around and drinking grape juice? Imagine the headlines. What was the victim doing at that time? How should I know? I was with the president inside the security room. Anyway.
Hold it!
Where'd you find the body? About where he is now. He collapsed in the middle of this room. When I returned, the door to the plane was already closed. The bullet must have hit Rook right before the door closed. Talk about a hassle. It's all his fault that this plan failed. Knightley, that's too far. Even if he protected the king, he couldn't protect his honor. He was careless in his duty, and he paid the price for it. This man is truly despicable. As I was saying.
Hold it!
Weren't you both carrying bulletproof attaché cases? Yeah, when Rook noticed the laser pointer. We opened those bad boys and came to the president's shield. You're telling me the bullet slipped through the space between your shields? Are you claiming that Miss Swift has such precise aim? Well, she was targeting the president. I wouldn't say her aim is precise at all. So the bullet was off target and just happened to hit the victim instead? Through the tiny gap between his bulletproof vest and case? I don't want to believe it either. They say the truth is stranger than fiction. Rook was hit by a 1 in a million shot, and you have the evidence to prove it. But I mean, even if we're talking about simple deaths, it's still not close to the most deadly game. Maybe if we're talking visual novel, overall deaths. I don't know how many deaths the Zero Escape trilogy has. Like, I don't even see the Ace Attorney games as violent, because I see violence as the actual, like, not just the end result, but the actual execution of it too. Ace Attorney has basically no execution of violence. Theoretically, yeah, I mean, they were all killed, right? Murdered.
Hold it!
So the second shot wasn't part of your plan? That's right, she did that on her own. If you think about it, wasn't she desperate for a scoop? I'm a journalist! I know murder! Well then, who was the one who joined the plan in order to get exclusive coverage? Just like you said, I orchestrated this fake assassination attempt. She was only supposed to aim the laser pointer. I guess it wasn't enough for her. She prepared her own gun and took aim at the president. Probably thought she wouldn't get caught if she went on and shot me too. Knightley fired the first shot and then Miss Swift fired the second one. In other words, Nicole also had a gun. I never thought she was the type. Without any proof, it's just pure speculation. And bam, let's pressure some evidence. Present some evidence. Pressure some evidence. Okay, so there's a couple things I see here, and I'm not sure how I'm supposed to go about this yet. Well, first of all, if she shot him and the bullet went completely through him, shouldn't the bullet be around in the plane somewhere or against the plane? Second of all, isn't the whole thing that the model gun is the same as what they have? How would she have gotten one of those? But I'm not sure if they actually want us to argue that point. No, that's not it. All right, later, Mr. Dominguez. Let's look at these real quick. Forgot there were 3 pictures. Honestly not sure how they want me to attack this first.
Where's the bullet then? If that's when he got shot. From that direction. We use the vest? Oh, I thought maybe he like wrote something on the back. I don't know where he's saying because she couldn't have shot from here and hit him. Well, it seems almost impossible. Entirely impossible. Almost impossible. We have her tape too. Like, wouldn't have been louder if the gunshot been louder if she fired the gun and the tape recorder was right next to it? The two gunshots would have different volumes. I'm not sure if the game is that big brain though. Duh. Okay, so it was this. You only fired, it has two shots fired, but that doesn't make sense if she only fired it once. So you shot the balloon and Miss Swift shot Rook? Is that really true? Can't see it any other way. The gun we discovered in the trash was fired twice. The number of gunshots don't add up. Why don't the gunshots add up? It's simple. This gun is fake evidence left behind by the real criminal. Fake evidence? Think about it. The criminal planted this for a reason. By finding the gun, we'd assume that the assassin was in the audience. In order to make us believe that the gun was used by the assassin, the gun needed to appear as if it had been fired twice. I get it, because two shots were fired during the incident. However, we proved that the bullet that hit the balloon did not come from this gun. Therefore, I have my doubts as to whether this gun also took Rook's life. Here it comes. You're packing some serious heat. Enough with the song and dance. You've come this far, go ahead and say it. I won't just say it, I'll prove it. The one who really shot Rook is...
Take that!
Horace Knightley, you murdered Rook. You finally said it. Knightley, you couldn't have. The killer wasn't the only one who took advantage of the fake assassination plot. You intended to murder Rook and claim he was a victim of the assassination. Once the president had entered the security room and the door of the plane was closed, only the victim and Knightley would have been left in this room. And at that moment, you fired a third bullet directly at Rook.
Objection!
A third bullet? Ha!
Only 2 gunshots were heard. Numbers don't match up. The plane's walls are soundproof. The door was closed. The gunshot would not have been heard outside. But wasn't the president in the next room? That's true. The president may have heard the gunshot. Mr. President, did you hear a gunshot?
I didn't hear any gunshots.
But weren't you watching this room through the security cameras?
Cameras in this room aren't usually turned on. I turned on the power after I entered the security room.
So you didn't turn on the power immediately after entering the room?
No, actually,
What is it? It's not being clear. Mr. President, focus. This is vital. Please!
I was hiding under the bed, covering my ears.
What? But you knew the assassination was fake!
It doesn't matter, I simply hate the sound of guns. That terrifying sound, and I just can't help it.
That definitely, oh God, I lost her accent all of a sudden. That definitely ain't going in my article. No, let's see, that's Southern. I wasn't meant to do this. That definitely ain't going in my article. Ahem. Nightly, you saw the president hiding under the bed. Furthermore, you could tell if the security cameras had been turned on by looking at the monitors. In that moment, when the president wouldn't hear the gunshot or see the room, you had a chance to fire a 3rd bullet at Rook.
Nightly, but you really? You just see me?
You really think I killed that moron? That's cold, Mr. President. I have a little faith in me, the bodyguard who's risking his life to protect you.
I want to believe you, I really do, but
I just don't get it. Why are you suspecting me all alone? There's still a possibility that she's the killer. This gun is not the murder weapon. The number of missing bullets makes that clear. Maybe it was one short to begin with. Ever think of that? What? Maybe it was already fired a shot. Maybe it already fired a shot yesterday or the day before. The second shot was fired today. The one that hit Rook. Wasn't that just the perfect excuse? Excuse? The possibility exists. You can't deny that. He's right. I can't deny it completely. You need decisive evidence. Evidence so decisive that it makes my heart stop and my logic crumble. You got something like that? Good. Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do anything? This right, Nicole will... Mr. Prosecutor, it's true I did an awful thing for a school, but I never killed nobody. I could never do a thing like that. Decisive evidence. I could prove the murder weapon was Knightley's gun. Prove it was his gun? We can find the bullet that took Rook's life. We can determine which gun fired the shot from the ballistic markings. If you got no evidence, then we're done talking. That'd be pretty decisive evidence. Hold it. It's very similar to how they were still accusing Maki, even though it was very obvious that he could not have possibly done that, at least with the evidence they had. Like, still so unlikely, but that's what they're going with. What? You don't seriously have decisive evidence? Naturally. That's a big joke. Oh, come on now, show us. What is the so-called evidence? The bullet that took Rook's life. That's the decisive evidence I need. The evidence, do I have it? I don't have it. Okay, it's game over, man. However, it is somewhere in this room. What? The bullet that killed Rook pierced through his body. Where'd the bullet go? Earlier you explained it like this. Yeah, with that gun that allegedly would have dislocated his arm the first time he shot it, and yet got off multiple shots. Give a good old safe state here. There we go. However, now that the fake assassination plan has come to light, we know that the bullet in the bulletproof vest was prepared earlier. So then, where did the bullet go? Interesting, very interesting. Do you have the answer? Do I have evidence that shows the location of the bullet that killed Mr. Rook?
Take that!
In this room, there is one thing that's clearly missing. Something missing? You sure it's not your brain? I'd like you to look at the rack of security monitors. Ah! It seems you've noticed, Mr. President. Among these images of the plane's surroundings, only the feed from the right side of the plane is absent. That's what's missing. A single monitor.
Good.
Mr. President, there was originally a monitor here, wasn't there?
That's right, which is why there's a stuffed toy now.
That must have been put there to hide the empty space where the monitor used to be. Who thought that was a good idea? Why is the monitor missing and where did it go? Why? Undoubtedly because it was hit by the bullet. In order to make us think that the bullet really hit the bulletproof vest, it would be a problem if another bullet hole was discovered. So then where'd the monitor go? Where? It should be hidden somewhere inside this plane. There hasn't been a chance to dispose of it outside since it was shot. Detective Gumshoe, search this plane. Roger that, sir. President Huang, you said extraterritorial laws apply to this plane.
I will allow it. There is no problem. I just realized over the truth of Rook's death.
Damn it. You think this is a joke? You're always like this. Rook this, Rook that. Detective, we have his approval. Go ahead. That's right, Edgeworth. I found it, sir. Good work, Detective. Now let's extract the bullet from the monitor. And if I do this here, and then do that, I got it. Well, it's definitely stained with blood. I'm certain this is the bullet that killed Rook. Oh yeah, this is super fucked up. Like Edgeworth said, this dude's a piece of shit. This is the bullet that will crush your arguments. The decisive evidence that blows a hole in your logic. The ballistic markings on this bullet do not match the gun found in the audience area. Miss Swift will be cleared of suspicion. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Detective, we need to examine the ballistic markings. Send the gun and bullet to forensics. Roger, should be able to find clear markings on this bullet, sir. I'm back. It's like, damn, dude. Now then, let's listen to the forensic report.
The reporting. First, the blood on this bullet matches the victim's blood.
So this bullet really did take Rook's life.
Also, the horse Knightley's fingerprints were found on this gun.
Knightley's fingerprints probably came from when he took all of our evidence. The real issue is the ballistic markings. Markings don't match. Miss Swift will be clear of suspicion.
And the bullet's ballistic markings match this gun.
What? They match? What? No way!
There's no mistake, the bullet was fired from this gun.
What?
Hey, that's strange. Looks like I was right after all, naturally. You really think you had me cornered? You misread the board. The one who's been cornered is you. The ballistic markings match the gun, there can be no doubt. The bullet that killed Rook was fired from the gun found in the audience area. Who could have used the gun? Not me, because I was on stage. But what about that lady reporter in the audience? All the evidence points to that young lady as the assassin who killed Rook. Well, it's your move, Mr. Prosecutor. Where'd you find this gun again? Which gun fired the bullets? At least we know. It ain't me.
Ugh. This can't be happening.
The President and I have admitted to the fake assassination plot. Now it's your turn to admit who the real criminal is.
Doesn't make Nicole the criminal. Don't get riled up, Kay. Let him have his say first. After he's done, it wouldn't be too late to begin our counterattack. All right, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, he's pretty dangerous. I mean, we've already seen him shoot at himself accidentally twice. Do you have proof that Miss Swift fired the gun?
Oh there, didn't the boys in blue already prove that?
But Nicole's fingerprints were found on the gun. And yours were all over it, pal.
Well, that's because I was handling all the evidence earlier. If that lady isn't the killer, who else could it be? You were the one who cornered the assassin in the audience. Ugh. Capiche? In fact, from every angle on the board.
I don't recall that being proven.
Well, what exactly have you proved? Oh yeah, you proved that I fired the first bullet. But you're forgetting one crucial thing. Why were you called here in the first place?
That's obvious, pal. We came to find the truth.
You consider the worsening relationship with Zheng Fa to be the truth? No, your purpose here was to solve the attempted assassination incident.
My purpose here is for me to decide. It is not to be decided by the likes of you.
Whatever. If you spend all day arguing like this, the case is gonna go unsolved. Just give it up already. The real criminal is that lady over there.
No, the real criminal can be none other than this man. The ballistic markings match the gun we discovered in the trash can. When did Knightley have the opportunity to touch the gun? Could only have been when I handed over the evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, is there anything we can do? Our reasoning up until now has not been wrong. This is an obstacle we'll have to overcome. Doesn't he have decisive evidence? Testimony born from lies will always contain a contradiction. Firstly, I'll need to press Knightley for more details.
Objection!
Oh, I think the sprite work here is really good, especially since we've been playing all those mobile remakes, so those are obviously touched up. And this really doesn't seem that much worse. Above all, intuition? Above all, Miss Swift doesn't seem like the type of person to tell such elaborate lies. In court, the evidence is everything, and yet here I am doubting it. Which evidence do I doubt? There be something strange about the bullets? The bullet? Detective, did you do anything to the bullet when you first discovered it? Huh? Like what, sir? I don't know. Like, step on it? Or perhaps fall onto it? Terrible, sir. You're terrible, Mr. Edgeworth! I was thinking maybe they could have staged the bullet. Anything suspect here, it can only be the gun. The bullet was discovered just a moment ago. It couldn't have been tampered with yet. Did Knightley have a chance to tamper with the gun? Oh, I see. When he took the evidence, he switched the bullet casings. What? He switched the guns. He put the scope on the other one. That's actually pretty clever. That's it. He could have tampered with the gun at that time. There's no doubt that this gun is the real murder weapon. In that case, the owner of this gun is...
Take that!
He must have switched the guns. Without a doubt, this is Knightley's own gun. Oh, that was interesting. So we updated a piece of evidence. Mid-testimony from pressing one statement. I don't remember that happening very often. Yo, what's up, Infernal? And happy birthday to your older brother. Summer birthdays. So I remember there being like, there consistently been like, we've added additional testimony or something like that. But to like update the evidence, I don't remember that happening too often. I think it's neat. Little change up there. I don't know which statement they want me to present it on. Oh, not that one. You could have used the gun. I guess that in of itself is in contradiction. You just asked the question. This is actually a contradiction. But that's not it either.
It could have been you because that was your gun. That is the contradiction. I guess the next statement's also contradiction. All the evidence points towards blah, blah, blah. Well, no, it doesn't. Jesus! Okay, so we have... There's a step. We're obviously missing a step. Oh! Oh, okay, that makes sense. I didn't think of going back. Knightley, you fiend! You switched the guns! Oh. The gun that matched the ballistic markings was yours all along. Interesting choice of move you made there. The switch occurred at the time you seized the evidence. And we were arguing with the president over investigation rights. You detached the laser sight from the gun found in the audience area and attached it to your gun. Then when you returned the evidence, you gave me your own gun. Did I do that? What you're saying is that I knew you'd want to examine the ballistic markings. Indeed. Staying one move ahead of your opponent. Isn't that the fundamental rule of chess? I'm glad you feel that way, Mr. Prosecutor. But you're giving me too much credit. Besides, do you even prove I pulled the old switcheroo with the guns? So the gun happens to be the same model as mine. Pure coincidence. But take a closer look, only one of them has a laser pointer attached to it. Check the number of bullets left in the chamber. Only 2 shots fired, see? There's no evidence that I switched the guns, right? Giving you too much credit? That hardly sounds like something you'd say. Guess I'm just more modest than you. Well, except when I'm in front of a chessboard. We're not in front of a chessboard. That's too bad. Don't use that as an excuse later. I didn't lose the game, I just couldn't find enough evidence. You're the one who should have an excuse ready. You didn't beat me at chess, you only found the evidence. Evidence that Knightley switched the guns? Does that even exist? There's no evidence that directly proves that Knightley switched the guns. Yet we know for a fact he did. If he didn't, there would be no explanation for the ballistic markings. Well, other than that she shot the gun. We need to carefully consider the meaning behind every piece of evidence linked to his testimony. Truth must be there. You attached the laser pointer to the gun yourself. Oh yeah? Prove it. Show me the evidence. Oh, well, that's... You can't go around calling people liars without proof. He hasn't lived in the United States of America recently, has he? Didn't your daddy teach you that? On that point, I've got evidence on my side.
you get the fingerprints off the laser? Okay. Thing's been bothering me for a while now. I want the chamber of your own gun.
Small woman here? Not you mention it. I've been firing it off for a while now.
Every time he fires, he reloads the gun?
So there's no way to check its status from the time of the incident.
That's it. In order to switch the guns, he would have had to have needed to reload the bullets. Apparently he's barehanded. He had no time to put on gloves when the switch was made.
I think it's about time for you to resign. How about it, Prosecutor Edgeworth?
So wait, what's the evidence then? Fingerprints reloading the bullets? Do we just show the gun again? Honestly not sure. No, that's not it. We don't have the bullets as evidence that he would have had to have reloaded. We have the gun that he would have had to have touched. It's evidence.
There isn't any.
There is. Show it to me. No, there is, pal. Don't we, Mr. Edgeworth? There's no time for another investigation. I'll only use what I have right now. It has to do with fingerprints. Wait, do I have to present it here? Okay. That evidence is this.
Call that evidence? Prosecutor Edgeworth, you're trying too hard.
Certainly traces were left on the gun. Traces that prove this gun belongs to you.
Show it to me.
What kind of
Traces you got? Rook, a bishop? Pieces you got? Rook, a bishop? Better not be a pawn.
traces nightly left on the gun are? You left your fingerprints on this gun.
Fingerprints? Ha. That should be expected. I handled the gun earlier when I seized your evidence. Of course my fingerprints are on it.
But what if the fingerprints are in a place they should not be?
That's not possible.
Allow me to show you. There is one place where your fingerprints should not be. This piece of evidence will deal the final blow to your king. It's either the laser pointer or the... But he's talking about reloading the bullets, so that's talking about specifically this. Here, Detective Gumshoe, please have a look at the cylinders. 2 shots fired, sir, but where will the fingerprints be? When he reloaded. You made the switch when you seized the evidence earlier. However, if all you did was switch the guns, you would have been found out right away. That's because the number of bullets fired by the 2 guns are different. The gun found in the audience had fired 2 shots, sir. And what about Mr. Knightley's gun? He fired 2 shots at the balloon when he was on the stage. And later, 1 shot to kill Rook. 3 shots in total, not counting the number of shots he's fired since then. And after each of those times, you would reload the bullets. Tell us, Knightley, were you wearing gloves when you were doing that? Ugh. Officer, in your report earlier, where were Knightley's fingerprints found on the gun?
Sir, the prints weren't just found on the outside of the gun. They're also found on the bullets as well.
If all you did was handle the evidence, why would your fingerprints be on the bullets?
That's...
With this, it has been proven that you switched the guns. The gun which fired the bullet that took the victim's life. It belongs to you, Horace Knightley. You're the one who stole Rook's life. You are the true assassin.
I'm...
Checkmate. That's one way to cope with loss.
I should have been made leader, me. Rook, that piece of shit. If it hadn't been for him, he said piece of scum. He's a fucking murderer. Why would he suddenly start censoring himself? I would have had complete control over everybody. My assassination plan, it was perfect. My plan was perfect.
Yeah, but if he did that, he immediately dies to everyone else in the room. He might have not even had a chance to do that. Detective Gumshoe, if you please. Roger that, sir. Survived a hit from the Thinker. He got a hard-ass head. Considering his neck's already fucked up, too.
Edgeworth! This game isn't over yet. You hear me?
That's enough. The rest of this game will continue in the courtroom.
Damn it. Damn you.
I mean, that's certainly what Colonel Mustard attempted to do, but then some other shit happened instead. You have my gratitude! You exposed the murderer amongst my bodyguards, and for that I am truly in your debt. As soon as he stepped outside the plane, he reverted back to his king-like persona. Persona! Some time ago, when I proposed the fake assassination plan...
You want me and not Rook?
Rook declined. Rook declined, so I'm asking you, what do you say?
Alright, let's do this. I'll come up with the perfect plan. I can even use that guy as a chess piece.
When Knightley said that, his eyes were overflowing with hatred towards Rook. Frankly, I was quite anxious about asking Knightley instead of Rook. Now that I recall those events, he probably sensed the anxiety in my but I didn't see what word he said. Perhaps that is what gave him the impulse, the impetus to murder. Mr. President, if you had not orchestrated that fake plan, this would not have happened. That is your sin. A sin that won't disappear. Yes, you are absolutely correct. You have my sincerest apologies. I too must bear some responsibility for this. Not all of it, but some of it.
Even so, I am most grateful to you. I thank you for solving the mystery of Rook's death. I'm scheduled to stay in this country for a little longer. And if any of you ever wish to visit the Republic of Changfa, you will always be welcome. Got that immunity. Oh lordy, thank you, thank you, thank you! I'm so happy for you, Nicole! You were sent up as the suspect for the murder. Still, your involvement with the fake assassination plan remains a fact. You will have to submit to police questioning later. You should know that there's still a possibility you may be charged with some crime. Conspiracy to commit fraud? Yeah, I know that. Sorry about all this. I understand you want to catch a scoop, but there's a line that should not be crossed. I hear you. I promise to reflect on this. We did it, Mr. Edgeworth! That was awesome. Prosecutor Edgeworth solves presidential assassination attempts. It's gonna be big news. Big news! Mr. Prosecutor, would you mind telling us how you feel about solving this case? That was certainly a quick change of attitude. No comment. Aw, don't be so ornery. The reason is because this case is not over yet. Ah, not over? What do you mean, sir? What shows that this case is not yet over?
Take that!
The killer's card! The killer still hasn't carried out his request. You mean killing the president? I hope this doesn't turn into a larger incident. It did. An assassination attempt on the president of Changfa. News of this incident spread across the entire country. The mass media also hounded me as I began to prepare for the trial of Horace Knightley. Everyone had seen the news and everyone was talking about it. However, amidst the commotion, nobody noticed that the game had only just begun. Sure if I want to start this tonight. Let me think about it and answer questions. So what did I think? It was a surprisingly sound case. As in the plot holes seemed to be very minimal, which is pretty unreal for a Phoenix Wright game, or for an Ace Attorney game. So in that regard, I am impressed. I did think Knightley's character was a little too similar to what's his fucks, the other Chung Fa guy. But at the same time, if that's just a cultural thing that's not like out of the ordinary, right? For them to be similar. I thought the whole motivation was kind of lame, but it's also not, you know, shit like that happens. So it's not like it was unrealistic. It's just, oh, he wanted to be the leader of the bodyguards. Whoop-de-doo. President's character was pretty funny. Nicole is just, I love Nicole's character. I hope we get more of her. Probably not, but I hope we get to see more Nicole. I'm a big fan. She was Lana done right. And even had like a sinister side to her. I guess one thing that I'm a little confused about if her choice was to rat on them about the plan or face murder charges, I would have probably ratted on them immediately. Was she worried that Knightley was going to kill her or something? I mean, I guess. I mean, to me it makes sense because, like, even though Edgeworth's the same guy, like, throughout all the games, right? Investigations, Edgeworth has a different type of persona than you've seen. Because Edgeworth in the courtroom and Edgeworth in the investigations have to be a little different. Because they're doing different things, right? The essence of Edgeworth is still there, but, like, how it's executed is a little different. So it makes sense to keep the person around that first, like, set up that investigation persona. I would say that it's already better written than any of the cases in the first game. In terms of, again, very soundly constructed case. Somebody confirm this. I just want to make sure I'm... He didn't fire a shot at himself until after he switched the guns, right? I like logic chess, yes. I like having to react to what they're doing. Yeah, this is that girl that I have on the thumbnail, right? Is it better than Turnabout Trump? In terms of awesomeness, no. In terms of its construction, yes. If that makes sense. Like, Turnabout Trump just has... Hobo Phoenix is just... It's hard to describe how hype it is. And it's partly hype because of how they screwed up his character in the past. But that case had more of, like, what, why sort of situations going on than this case did. A lot of this case fell together. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't think we did, but I couldn't remember. Because that would be one plot hole, but I was thinking about it, I'm like, no, I don't think he fired the gun until after he switched them. Which two first cases? This and Investigations 1? I told about his wife, hey-oh! Oh, I still. That's a good question. I was gonna say I'd still rank Trump over this because, man, it's so hype. It's so hype. It's so hype that it might just completely outdo logic and reason. But this is the better overall case. This is the better overall case. I enjoyed playing Trump more, though. So I guess then I ask you the question, do you mean, which case is better in terms of, like, the case, or which case did I have more fun playing? Because both of them have different answers. I mean, the feelings mean more to you non-lawyer people. Feelings. That's why I feel so dirty admitting to it. Yes, though I'd say 3-5 is also a pretty awesome moment for Edgeworth. When he's the defense attorney, that shit was sick. He was so good. Now, see, in a tier list, I would consider both factors. Hypeness and enjoyment. In addition to how good the case itself was. My initial reaction is to say this is probably better if we combine both factors. Because Turnabout Trump still had a few too many what the fuck moments, and not just like cool, like, oh my god, what the fuck, but like, wait, what? The Swaggy P question mark face. That face. But I'd probably have to think about it a little more. Because it's also probably based on my initial reaction right now is just so stunned. Just so stunned that there were, there was a case like this. Holy shit. I can't think of one time where I was like, that's complete bullshit. I mean, the president's body was like the worst. Like, no. That was the worst thing of the entire case, and it was still amusing. And that had nothing to do with the actual, like, execution of the case, right? It is ridiculous that he got away, but then again, the way he had everything set up, like, sure. Whatever. They would be in the same tier, yes. Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. The narrative of Trump itself isn't what makes Trump a good case. It is the characterization in Trump that makes it a very good case. Because as we know, you could have a great story and shitty characters, or great characters but a shitty story. It doesn't seem like that should be a thing that can happen, but it absolutely can. But yeah, so they'd be in the same tier. I'm more likely to put this ahead of Trump right now. Would be my reactionary assessment.
I have to figure out when we're going to do our next tier list. Can't say I'm too unhappy about that. Hey, a victim that we actually know! What? Okay, well, it looks like they're gonna throw all that shit out the window now. The dog did it. Oh, God. 2 days later. Wow. Didn't take long. Oh shit, someone died. Happy music. He's not coming. He's not coming, sir. How long does he intend to keep us waiting? Now, Mr. Edgeworth. There's no need to get your cravat in a twist. You could have said panties and I would have believed you. Edgeworth is a guy that seems like he quite enjoys the soft silkiness of women's underpants. And I say that with no judgment. You wear what you want to wear. Ethan Rook's murder. 2 days after the incident, we visited the detention center. Naturally, we were hoping to meet with the defendant, Horace Knightley. His trial was set to begin the next day, with me serving as the prosecutor. Still, he is rather late. You there! Do you know what's going on? It certainly is strange. I'll try calling him one more time. It's terrible! It's terrible. It's Knightley. He's been murdered. What? What'd you say? Murdered? Inside the detention center? That seems actually impossible. Well, unless he was killed by another inmate, which does happen sometimes. Mr. Edgeworth, let's go check it out! You there, take us to the crime scene, post haste. Yes, sir. Knightley's not in a cell. I thought he was being held there. What are you doing, sir? This way. Where are you taking us, pal? Through this door is the... it's the prison. Prison? Then what were the small rooms back there? Those cells we just passed are part of the detention center and are used for holding suspects temporarily while they await their trial. What lies ahead is a facility that serves a completely different purpose. Does anybody know if that's... Is that common in Japan for the detention centers or jails and prisons to be connected? Because I will tell you, in Wisconsin, it is not common. In fact, I don't know of one facility that is a jail/prison connected. So, like, I can say that doesn't make any damn sense, but that's only insofar as it doesn't make sense here. I don't know if in Japan that's more of a common thing. You not throw up? I'm sorry, do you need something? Would you do that? Are you capable of that? If you are, you should tell me now. She's like looking like, what are you pointing at? Are you committing of killing somebody like that? Because I would like to know. We might not be able to have the same... Our relationship might change if you can. Might have to just acquiesce to all of your requests. This is where the criminals who have been declared guilty serve out their sentences, pal. Well, take a picture, mental picture of her, keep it in your head now, because once Thursday hits, she's gonna look more like a gigantic rat. But at least she won't have all that hair in front of her. She can't see shit. Try to cut it, but every time I try to cut something, she like jerks, and I'm like, well, I don't want to poke your eye out, so let's let professionals deal with it then. But of course, they were like, oh yeah, we have an opening in 2 weeks. Holy shit. How fucking popular is dog grooming right now? The one place a great thief does not want to end up, Kay. I'm opening the door now. Please follow me. Am I gonna shave her? Holy shit. What happened here? I'm not shaving her. No, I would not be able to keep her in place. They have better ways than I do. So no, we pay somebody to shave her because we would suck at it. She has knots now just because it's taken so long for us to get her in. Normally we try to get her in before she develops the knots, so it's not as bad. Like, I know she has a couple, like, right here right now. Because I know that can't be pleasant. Hey, Boston. Does she itch a lot? No, not really. The only thing she ever really itches is the side of her face, which is why she loves it when we itch the side of her face. She also she tries to get at her, like, secret sweet spot, which is the inside of her ear. Which I didn't know that was a thing. Wonder if I could get her to do it now. You can tell she likes it because she, like, purrs like a cat. All right, hold on. Oh, you like it, but you're not making the noise. Oh. Oh, she did it like she kind of did it softly. No, not behind the ear, in the ear. It's weird. I've never thought about trying to itch her in her ear. And I did it on accident once, and then she started going. There's no mistaking it. Knightley's dead. Moreover, he was murdered inside the prison walls. How exactly did this happen? I can't believe something like this would happen to Mr. Knightley. I mean, I can always believe bad things happen to bad people. I can't believe it either, I guess. But the scene you see before you is the unmistakable reality. Besides, wasn't Mr. Knightley supposed to be in the detention center? Indeed, he was. Knightley hadn't had his trial yet. Before a suspect is found guilty, they're detained in the detention center's holding cells. They only enter the prison after they have received a guilty verdict. Knightley should not have been moved in here. You think he passed through those giant doors that we went through earlier, sir? Hmm. Forgot to do this earlier. Oh. Wait, do I already have it? Ugh. Why is it like that? Nope, I want it this way. Yeah. That makes a hell of a lot more sense. There we go. For me, it's 2:46 a.m. Huge metal doors and a long passageway separate the prison and the detention center. As a suspect, Knightley wouldn't have been able to pass through. What happened to Knightley? In order to solve this mystery, we must first investigate the crime scene. Alright. That seems like a good place to call it for the night. Especially since she is still... What is wrong with you? I took you outside earlier. Right. Ah, okay. Save game and suspend play. Yes. Ah, I see. So it just makes you suspend play. All right. Well, we saved it both ways. So we're good. All right. Twice a year. That's not surprising. So I got my ears irrigated like, oh, maybe about a year ago. Make sure you clean out your ears, because getting your ear, my ear wasn't even that bad, but I was dealing with some pain and we were trying to figure out what it was because it wasn't infected. I will tell you that is more pain added on. Irrigating your ear is like one of the most uncomfortable feelings you'll ever experience that you can prevent, like 100%. Just clean your ears out. Otherwise, you'll have people jamming this thing in their ear and they're constantly flushing it with water. She is too involved with the case, I guess. Okay, so let me just see here. Okay, next stream. Tomorrow's on Twitch. Me and Nin are going to be racing Mega Men games. AY comes back Thursday. We have a members night on Saturday.
Nothing on Friday because I will be out of the house for the evening. V3 next Monday. Twitch, V3 again Wednesday. Okay, so the next Prosecutor's Path, this is going to be the longest break between two AAI 2 streams. The next AAI 2 stream isn't going to be until Friday the 13th. Oh no. Oh no. Because for now, I'm giving Danganronpa 2 streams a week since we started that first, and AAI 2 1 stream a week until we're done with V3. Once we're done with V3, then AAI 2 gets that entire slot. And the streams will happen much more frequently. So, and I know it's a little early, but I don't want to get like halfway through this first investigation and stop. Just seems like a bad stopping point. We will go a bit longer next time, especially since that's a weekend day too. So I assume people will be able to be around for longer if they want. So Friday the 13th, next AI 2 stream, will go for somewhere between 5 to 6 hours, probably. So be there for that. Dump your head in water? No. Because that's like saying if you swam, it'd be good enough. That's like Tara said, you need pressure. That is true. I agree with that. Better to have this on Friday the 13th than Danganronpa. That, well, yeah, if you get to the point where there's so much pressure, your head could get crushed. But then you have other problems to worry about than cleaning your ears. Thank you to Snap Click Cat for the raid. Thank you to Lucy for derailing me. Yeah, give everybody a tail wag. There's a YouTube channel. Make sure to go check her out if you did not do so. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm gonna go get some more work done before I go to bed. Wait, should I? I'm wondering if I want to raid. But I hate raiding and then just leaving right away. If I raid, I want to be able to chill for a little bit. Well, yeah, you that's when you came over here, right, Possum? So yeah, we'll raid next time. I just want to be able to interact. Like Beacon of Nick, for example. I'd love to raid him. He raided me a little while ago, but I've never raided him before, so I'd like to raid him and then just like chill for a little bit because I don't know too much about his channel. He seems like a cool dude, but that's really all I know. He's playing Pokemon Snap right now. Harv's playing Mega Man 10 because he hates himself, obviously. Soul's playing a Pokemon Sword Nuzlocke. Actually, I think Soul just wrapped up. But yeah. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go start responding to all those comments I haven't had a chance to respond to yet. I think I have like 200-something comments I need to respond to because I have not had time to look them over. So I'm going to go do that to get that knocked off of my to-do list. All right, everyone. I will be back tomorrow. Well, I'll be on Twitch tomorrow, and then I'll be back Saturday for Members Night, and then Danganronpa V3 next Monday. All right? Sounds good. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, stream is adjourned.
My road. You don't have to like it or anything.
Oh, my eyes.
Right. This is new.
This is new.
Real.
All right, go ahead, Carmello.
Real.
Red leather. Wheel.
Oh, hold on.
Thick rope.
Shit. I'm trying to. There we go.
Red leather, yellow leather.
Stitch. Anyways, a rotating wheel, turning an axle, grinding. Bolthead.
I can't read this.
Yeah.
Bolthead.
Linear gearbox. Falling sky. 7 holy stakes. A docked ship. A portal to another world. A thin rope tied to a thick rope.
A torn harness.
Throwing off my groove here, Yuri. A thick harness. Parabolic gearbox.
She's lost it.
Expanding universe. Time controlled by slipping cogwheels.
This is
Existence of God.
This is condescension porn.
Swimming with open water in all
It
directions.
is. It is.
In and out. I'm kidding. Drowning. A prayer written in blood.
Dude,
prayer.
the most condescending dudes in the world are getting off. So.
Oh
my God.
Existence of God.
Does
This woman exists.
Ciao,